3L Avery and Son on Route 2 in Charlemont has been serving residents of that area for more than 150 years. A fifth-generation family-owned business, Avery's is more than just a general store. It's both a touchstone to the past and a look at the future of retail in rural communities. Videographer Mark Langevin and Connecting Point producer Tony Dunne share the Avery story with us in tonight's Making It Here.
This store was begun in 1861 by my great-great-grandfather, Amos Lawrence Avery.
And then it was handed down generation to generation.
Our relationship to the community has always been local and practical and residential. As you look around, you'll see that we're selling everyday stuff here. It has always been a general store. What that means has changed every generation.
The nice thing about a general store like ours is you're offering people real things that they need for their life.
There's certainly a unique combination of things in here. There aren't many stores that make their own hamburger every day and sell rat poison at the same time.
I often joke that you need a native guide in our store because things hang from the ceilings, they're not always really apparent. We still sell things like old sorts of soaps and things, Baraxo and Fell's naphtha that people can't buy other places. But we also sell metric bolts for snowboarders, so we're very tied into the recreation industry as it's grown.
Whereas that existed in my father's generation, it was only beginning in my grandfather's generation. I would say that any retailer that stays in business changes with the community that they're in, and the changes are generational and cultural.
There was not a meat case to begin with. That happened after the war, so that was a change in response to the community because people would go to farmers and get their meat, and then all of a sudden you needed a meat market.
Former generation ran much more of a grocery store and much less of a hardware store. The increase in the hardware store has been ours.
So we respond to the second home people who have a lot of do-it-yourself needs. We've expanded the hardware 3 or 4 times from what it was. And the clothing has changed. It used to be just work clothing, and now we do a lot more with ski articles of clothing and outdoor recreation, wool socks and things like that.
I think that our location is critical to the fact that we're still here and still doing business. We're 20 miles from anything that I would call corporate retail. We are tied into a community. We have lifetime relationships with our customers.
We know what they like, what they want. When they come in the door, we can probably tell you, well, I bet this person's going to get this, this, and this, because it's pretty typical. And I think the service that we give is probably one of the most remarkable things about the store, because we really know our customers.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Be warm.
Yeah. We were picking up upstairs, and we found a book full of postcards. And the interesting thing is that a lot of these postcards were essentially family photos. So I have postcards that are landscapes of the area, but I also have photos that are my great-grandmother and her cat.
One of the interesting things about the store is we're still using the same skeleton key that's the original building for the back door here. It fits in the lock and locks like this. Still works. Still what we use every night when we lock up.
Well, we are currently for sale, real estate and business, and we are looking to find someone who can imagine taking on a proprietorship and continuing this service to this community.
And I think that there's room for someone to come in and make another change again the same way that we made changes to respond to what's here.
I really believe that whereas people see this as kind of a vestige of the past, it could well prove to be an animal of the future. If localization is more than just a word, then every town is going to need a store.
And it's really been a privilege to be so much a part of a community, to respond to the needs of a community, to see it grow, and to have your hands right on things.